first got into my spiritual journey, I would try to do that. I would be like, everything is love and light, everything is peace, everything is no, like that shit. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Alexis. So today I am here to talk about shadow sides, mirror energy, and triggers, right? So I have notes. I always have notes, but basically I was sitting here trying to figure out like how I'm gonna explain this, but let me just tell you why I like even thought of making this video. So I was arguing with somebody yesterday on Facebook, right? And their whole argument was like, just the basis of their argument was about how women shouldn't do certain things and how women should just always be in a state to be like, be prepared to be accepted by a man, you know what I'm saying? So that just led us into a whole different argument, a whole different, you know, conversation. And I was telling him like, you have stuff you need to heal from, like you're triggered right now, like you need to get yourself together. So basically I'm going to tell y'all what your shadow side is and why you need to heal it. Why you need to heal your shadow side. Okay, so first of all, your shadow is the part of you that holds all of the feelings that don't make you feel good, right? So trauma, issues from past relationships, issues with your family, with your friends, abandonment, abuse, just to name a few. Those are things that everyone has a shadow side, like that, just the dark side of us, you know, the type that makes all the weird jokes. The like, everyone has a shadow side, but it's like obviously some people's shadow side is a lot more darker than others. So how your shadow exposes itself on a day-to-day, or how it like shows you, basically calls out for attention, is through different triggers, right? So if something happens and you're like, this makes me feel uncomfortable, like this triggers me, you know what a trigger is. So unpopular opinions. So sometimes people will like to say like, oh, I don't like this about another person, or I don't like this thing, but it's usually something that they will say has nothing to do with them, and it's because of deeper reasons that they need to heal inside of themselves. So prejudgment, you meet someone, you don't know them, but you don't like the way they look, so you start to judge them. That is your shadow side. Although also through your ego, through denial, worry, grief, and then overindulgence sometimes can be a like how your shadow exposes itself. So when you are coming into contact with these things that you're not liking, you're not really like, you don't like them, you need to ask yourself, why is it that I don't like them? Why is it that I do not like these things? And that is when mirror energy comes into play. So you know how they say everything is a mirror, people are a reflection of you. So look at the people that you are having these feelings towards, and I wrote down some questions like that you need to ask yourself. First of all, why is this person triggering me? So I'm just going to use an example. A lot of people have hatred or like uneasy feelings towards the LGBT community, right? If you are someone, this is just an example, who is uncomfortable with those people, you have to ask yourself, why am I uncomfortable? Not why did society teach me to be uncomfortable? Not what thoughts or beliefs have I adopted from other people about this group of people. Why am I uncomfortable? Like, why do I personally have, and not reasons outside of yourself. Like, don't be like the Bible, don't be like God, don't be like, oh, my family, don't be like, oh, this is right and wrong. Why do you personally have an issue with this thing? Whatever that thing is, why do you personally have an issue with it, right? And then after you ask yourself, like, why do you have an issue? Why does this trigger me? How does this reflect onto my self-image? So like, if I don't like people who eat pizza, what does that say about me? That I have a traumatic experience with pizza? Do I freaking not like pepperonis? Is it like flatbread pizza and not this? You know what I'm saying? So you have to really look inside, really think about, how does this reflect onto me? Like, how does this thing, me not liking this thing, even if it's like I only say something about it when it comes up, how does this affect me regularly? How does this affect my relationships? How does this affect the people around me, like my own friend environment? Am I missing out on opportunities because I'm biased towards this thing? Am I like limiting myself in certain areas because I'm biased towards this thing? So you just have to really ask yourself, what is the trigger? Why does this really bother me? Like deep down on the inside of my soul, why does this bother me, right? Okay. And then when we get into mirrors and like mirroring energy, you want to really, after you evaluate the things that you don't like, obviously you want to evaluate the people around you. So like look into all of your friends, all of your family members, all of your business partners, all of your, even your Facebook friends, and just look at them and see like, what is it, if there's something that I do not like about them, how does that thing reflect back to me? Or even if it's something I do like about them, how does this reflect back to me? How does this mirror my own personal energy? Do the relationships that I keep around you mirror my energy in the way that I would like them to? Are you satisfied with you looking at someone and seeing the reflection? Are you happy with that, right? And then after you have established that, you've evaluated the people in your life, you've evaluated how it relates back to you, you want to take your own insecurities and your own things that have nothing else to do with other people, your looks, your voice, your everything about yourself that you are having like insecurities about, right? And then you want to ask yourself, what is it about myself that I can change right now? If it's like you have problems with your self-image, can I do my eyebrows? Can I get my hair done? Can I like do something to make myself feel better, or anything along those lines? Like if it's with your relationships, if you're insecure in certain relationships, ask yourself, what can I do to change this? Like what can I do that will move this in a better direction, in a more positive direction, right? Write down those things, figure out the things that you can fix. You can even write down solutions to fixing them, how you actually plan on going about healing yourself or changing these things. And then you want to make a list of things that you can't change. It doesn't matter what you do. It doesn't matter what, you cannot fix them. You cannot change them. So the only thing that you can do is either release or accept. That's it. Release or accept. So there we go. Let's see. So a lot of people, I will compare your shadow side to like the little devil when you show. You got the angel, you got the devil. I will compare your shadow to the devil. And what a lot of people try to do is they try to knock the devil off of their shoulder. And that's not gonna happen. Like that's just not gonna work, because that's not how it works. You need your shadow, and you just like you need the light. Darkness creates light. You cannot have light without darkness. You cannot have darkness if there's not an absence of, you know what I'm saying? Like it all goes together. So ultimately what you want to do is heal and integrate your shadow side. Don't ignore it. Don't neglect it. Don't love and light yourself to death, because that shit does not work. And let me tell you, when I first got into my spiritual journey, I would try to do that. I would be like, everything is love and light. Everything is peace. Everything is... No, like that shit, it does not work. You cannot love and light yourself to death. You have to face your shadow. You have to heal your shadow. You have to like figure out what these feelings are and what these like, because all you do is you be quiet about it, right? So you feel these things and you just don't express them, and then they start to kind of get worse, right? They get worse in terms of you're ignoring me now, so your shadow's like, now I really got to show you, like, this is bothering me, like, hey, work on it. So you know what I'm saying? That's what happens when you, instead of integrating your shadow and healing your shadow, you start to ignore your shadow. So healing your shadow or integrating your shadow side with your light side, it does not get rid of your personality. And that's also something that I was afraid of. I'm like, if I'm to completely get rid of this side of me that I've known all of my life, because most of our time our shadow is our ego. It's what protects us. It's what stops us from facing any trauma that we once had to face again, right? So me, I'm like, if I get rid of my shadow side, if I get rid of like this dark kind of protective side, like it's dark, but it's like it keeps me protected. It's like my barrier, so no one can really get to me, right? I'm like, if I get rid of that, I'm not gonna be myself no more. Like I'm not gonna be able to have fun. I'm gonna just be all peace, light, and meditation all the time. Not true. It teaches you to accept, like I said, accept things that you cannot change, or release the things that you cannot change, whichever you decide to do with it. And then it teaches you to love parts of yourself that you never thought that you would love. You know what I'm saying? Parts of yourself that you thought were not attractive, or just anything. It doesn't have to do with looks. Like that's just an example that I'm using, but this could have to do with any kind of relationship, any kind of thing with yourself, with a person, with anything. Okay, so another note that I wrote is that everything is an experience, right? So we're about to get deep, trigger warning. Hopefully this does not, you know what I'm saying, whatever. But let's say I'm not even going to trigger nobody. I'm just use a regular example. So let's say, right, that somebody smacks me. I don't like to be smacked. I don't like that shit. But after they smack me, the smack is over. Like, I can't go the rest of my life upset that I got smacked however many years ago. Like, it's already done. They have hurt me, yes, but they completed their action. They have completed the hurt. Like, you know what I'm saying? So after that point of them completing that hurt, it is up to me how I carry this energy forward. It is up to me to, like, let it hold me back or heal from me. You know what I'm saying? And this is not to say that this is for the same for all levels of trauma. Like, obviously people go through deeper things. You can't just be like, oh, I got molested, let me just wave it off. Like, that's not how that works. I know that. The thing is, you have the ability to train your mind to say, I was hurt, I accept it, I will not let this limit me, I will not let this stop me from being in, you know, future relationships. I will not let this stop me from living out the dreams that I want to live. Another example that I had that came to me in a dream, kind of, it was like, imagine you're going to the grocery store, right, because you need eggs. And on the way to the grocery store, a bunch of shit happens. You run into potholes. It's a bunch of red lights. Traffic is horrible. Like, you know what I'm saying? You could have hit something with the tire. You ran over a deer. Like, a whole bunch of shit just happened on the way to the market. But when you got to the market, you didn't start breaking eggs because shit happened on the way. Like, you wasn't blaming the destination. Like, you wasn't blaming, the destination because of the journey. Like, you still got to the store. You still got what you needed. So in life, things are gonna happen, and we're gonna go through mishaps. We're gonna go through things that we don't want to go through, but at the end of the day, it's like, just stay focused on your journey as much as you possibly can. Stay focused on your journey and heal the parts of you that are stopping you. Like, if you sit and think about, like, people that you don't like, things you don't like, me personally, it's shit I need to heal with my shadow side. Like, I have to ask myself, how is this hurting me? Like, how is it hurting me? How does it reflect? How does it benefit me? Like, am I missing out on certain opportunities because I am this way? Am I missing out on certain clients? Am I missing out on, you know what I'm saying? You just have to really dig deep into, are these things helping me? Are these behaviors, these mindsets, are they helping me? And if not, I can release them, and or I can integrate them in a positive way into my life, right? So that's healing your shadow side and mirrors. I really hope that I know it was like back and forth. I had notes in a certain order, and then I just kind of started flipping back and forth. But okay, so now I'm going to talk about other ways. So those were like ways for people who are not really into like magic and spirituality, things of that sort. So those are ways to, like, on a just mental level, heal yourself, like without tools, without any extra help outside of yourself, right? But for the people who do not have the willpower or the determination, the know-how, or even have the confidence to sit down and talk to themselves like that, or like ask yourself some questions, I find that it's easier to do at night for me. So some people, when you talk to your shadow, some people like to look directly in a mirror, and it's just usually for people who have like confidence issues with their image. I think I'm cute, so I'm not saying that I don't have self-image issues, but like more so my issues are internal. They're things from my childhood that I have to work on, right? So what I like to do is at night before I go to bed, I say my little prayers to the universe, and then I just like will let my thoughts flow. I'll let my thoughts go whichever direction they go in, that's which way they go in. And then I will ask myself, why did I have this thought? If it's a negative thought, why did I have this thought? What is this teaching me? What do I need to learn from it? If it's a positive thought, thank you for that. What do I need to learn from this thought, right? And that's even throughout the whole day. It's just like, you know, you just have to question yourself. You have to ask yourself, why? And can I benefit from this? And if I cannot, I release it. Thank you, but no thank you. So yeah, ways to but like heal your shadow with tools kind of outside of your person, outside of yourself. So we have meditation, which is obviously that's you going inside. This is basically what I'm talking about for you to do, is to meditate. And meditation doesn't mean like sitting like this. You don't have to do that. You can literally just sit down, lay down, read a book, color, like listen to music, and then think about the things in those songs that trigger you. Think about, you know what I'm saying, just however you can get it, that's how you gotta get it. Reiki is also good for that. Shadow work, which is what I just explained, asking yourself all of these questions, that is called shadow work. We have tarot, which, you know what I'm saying, you can just either learn to read tarot. I should be coming out with a course soon on how to interpret tarot as a beginner, how to read tarot as a beginner. And then let's say we have therapy, regular therapy. Go talk to a therapist if you feel so you don't want to approach yourself. You can have someone else ask you these questions. Crystals are always good for healing. You can look into what specific ones that you want. I know when I do like crystals, candles, anything, I don't like to get super deep into like the meaning of every crystal. I really just go by color magic. So for shadow work, I would probably use pink crystals. For like self-love, I would use black, and I would use like white or clear crystals. But you can research different crystals, what they mean. If you want to be more specific, I just do colors. I don't really look at the name of a crystal or like what it personally specifically does. I just do color magic. That's just me though. Also spell work. I know when I was first trying to get into healing my shadow side, and let me say, with all of these things, let me tell you just the last 2 things. I have spell work, affirmations, and sound therapy, right? So all of these things are great, and they are great tools to get you started towards what you need to do. But ultimately, you're still gonna have to do the work. Like, you're still gonna have to go into the talking to yourself. You're still gonna have to go into the healing yourself, all that great stuff, because you can spell work, you can hold 1,000,000 crystals, you can light 1,000,000 candles, and at the end of the day, that does not fix it. That does not make you talk to yourself. All it does is kind of puts the energy out there for you to want to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's like a reminder, if you will, that you need to do it. Just like affirmations, when like people will listen to affirmations about things that they want to move their life towards, but it's like, okay, you can listen to the affirmations, but one day it has to click. Like, it has to manifest into the physical. It has to be you putting in actual effort and action to make these things happen. So yeah, truly, like, that's your shadow side. That's how people mirror things that you need to heal within yourself. It's hard work. It is not easy, but the thing about, I think, once you heal your shadow side, and I am still working on it, like I said, my shadow side, it be popping out every day. I just said on Facebook the other day, I need to stop cussing people out because that's not good for my shadow. Like, sis be like, yes, get him, and I don't need to be like that. So let's do this together. Work on your shadow side. I will work on my shadow side so that we can come together and heal the earth. Heal the earth. Okay? Well, that's really what I got. This video is a lot longer than I intended it to be. We had 18 minutes almost, and I just truly wanted this to be a nice, cute little 5-minute video. But somebody is going to watch it, and it's going to hit somebody. And I really hope that it just changes lives, because that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to help people heal and help people, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta find a way to help people without triggering them, because I tend to do that a lot. I tend to call out shit versus, like, you know. So, well, that was my video. So thank you for watching. If you made it this far, appreciate you. All my social media is below. If you would like to get a reading so we can discuss your shadow side personally, information will be below. Like this video, share this video because people need to see it. Comment on this video and tell me what you got out of it. And that is what I have.